From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 7, streaming now.
And now at 7, after months of business closures, working from home and wearing masks, COVID-19 numbers are moving in the wrong direction across the country. Thanks for joining us. I'm Amanda Starrentino.
And I'm Mark Mullins. Here in Indiana, the rate of positive COVID-19 tests has been steadily increasing. According to the State Department of Health, the 7-day rate is at 5.1%. Another 1,488 positive cases were reported. That's close to the daily record. An additional 16 people died with COVID-19 between October 4th and yesterday.
The CDC is urging everyone 6 months and older to get the flu vaccine while COVID-19 is still a concern. Doctors say it's critical not just for you, but for hospitals too. WRTV's Stephanie Wade answers the frequently asked questions we all have surrounding the flu and the COVID-19 pandemic.
I wanted to get my flu shot because I'm 75 and I want to stay healthy as I can.
And that's a good thing Gretchen Toy opted to, doctors say, because people who are older or very young are most at risk of getting the flu, even recommending people over 65 get a high-dose vaccine.
It's very important for everybody to do it, especially now with the pandemic.
Really, anything that we can do to prevent any respiratory illnesses this winter, we should do.
During this COVID era, the medical director of infection prevention at IU Health says it's important to know the flu and the coronavirus look the same. They cause the same symptoms and utilize the same hospital resources like ventilators.
They spread the same way. They can transfer in hospitals the same way. So we need to do everything we can to protect everyone around us.
Dr. Cole Beeler says they're expecting for COVID to spike this winter, making it that much more crucial people get the flu vaccine.
Since we're expecting worsening, we want to make sure that our ICUs are nice and wide open so that they can take care of COVID patients and that we don't have as much flu-related morbidity or disease this year.
Reminding people it is possible to be infected with the flu and COVID at the same time.
We're already seeing co-infections with COVID and other respiratory viruses that are circulating. So my guess is that as we move into flu season, we'll see a lot more co-infections.
It takes a few weeks for your body to build immunity from the vaccine. The CDC is urging people to get their shot by the end of October, before the virus begins to spread. Stephanie Wade, WRTV.
And if you don't feel comfortable or want to stay away from the doctor's office or hospital, Dr. Beeler recommends getting in touch with your primary care physician. They can talk through your symptoms over the phone and maybe consider you for the Tamiflu medication. The next walk-in flu shot clinic is Sunday the 18th at St. Gabriel Catholic Church on West 34th Street. It goes from 9:30 to 2. You can also get a flu shot by appointment at Marion County District Health offices. Vaccinations through the health department are $20. Shots for children under 2 years old are free. Medicare and Medicaid are accepted.
Now that the first and only vice presidential debate is over, there's confusion about whether President Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden will share the stage again before Election Day. ABC's Karen Travers explains today's back and forth over future debates.
The Commission on Presidential Debates said there would be changes made before round 2 between President Trump and Joe Biden. But the president's COVID-19 diagnosis was an unexpected curveball.
There's now a debate about the debates. The next showdown between President Trump and Joe Biden is up in the air after the Debate Commission announced Thursday morning the town hall event scheduled for October 15th would be virtual. The two candidates appearing from separate remote locations to protect the health and safety of everyone involved. That kicked off a head-spinning day. Minutes later, the president, in a phone interview with Fox Business Network, said he was out.
No, I'm not going to waste my time on a virtual debate. That's not what debating's all about.
The president's campaign has insisted he'll be ready to debate next Thursday, exactly 2 weeks from when he announced he had tested positive for COVID-19.
I think I'm better. When to a point where I'd love to do a rally tonight. I wanted to do one last night.
The Biden campaign then said it would find an appropriate place to take questions from voters next Thursday. That will be an ABC News town hall event. The Biden campaign called on the Debate Commission to move their town hall event to October 22nd. Team Trump said sure, postponing the town hall by a week worked for them. But they also insisted a third debate still take place on October 29th. The Biden campaign said no, a town hall debate postponed by a week will be the final showdown. More than 73 million Americans tuned in to their first debate.
So let me ask you this.
No, go ahead, mister. I'm listening to you.
President Trump is trailing Joe Biden by an average of nearly 10 points in national polling. Strategists say he needs the debates more than Biden.
And these debates are really the best and last chance he has to change the narrative. So I think he needs to participate.
Early voting is already underway in 44 states. At least 5.5 million votes have been cast. President Trump may be running out of time for a game-changing moment. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
Right now, we're watching the sun go down from our Weather Now camera. It's been a warmer day than we've seen in a while. Let's check in now with Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory. Hey, Kevin.
And Mark, this has been perfect. You know, the timing for the sun setting during our 7 o'clock news. We'll get another view of that here in a second. 51 days, basically without rain. We've had 0.12 of an inch over that 51-day stretch, and not much in the way of clouds. Not much in the way of rain. Those clouds that you do see bringing a little character to the sunset out in Putnam County, the first hints of a change. Those mid to high level clouds streaming in from the south out ahead of Hurricane Delta. There's the view. You can see the clouds from St. Louis over into central Indiana and then to the southwest. The rain sits well to the southwest in Louisiana and Mississippi. We'll talk about our rain chances coming up. Temperatures 69 in Peru, 72 in Terre Haute, 73. That's your Bloomington temperature. Tonight, temperatures will drop about 15 to 20 degrees from where they're at now. So we'll start in the low 50s tomorrow morning. Saturday and Sunday, because of cloud cover, mild afternoons, temperatures only reach the lower 60s. There's your hourly forecast for tomorrow. Temperatures in the low 80s. We'll zero in on your Friday night football forecast and our weekend rain timing, where we may see the rain coming up.
The U.S. government reports another 840,000 people filed for first-time job loss benefits last week on a seasonally adjusted basis. That's down from the week before, but still higher than economists expected. Meanwhile, new claims for unemployment benefits are up yet again in Indiana. The Department of Labor says more than 11,000 Hoosiers filed for regular unemployment benefits for the first time last week. Applications for special pandemic unemployment assistance was also up. More than 36,000 Hoosiers applied for some sort of unemployment last week. That's an increase of more than 5,000 from the previous week.
A new national study reveals a startling trend. According to the Department of Labor, the black community is having the toughest time recovering from the pandemic when it comes to landing jobs. WRTV's Troy Washington spoke with a woman who is back on her feet after being laid off back in May.
Shania Wooden worked in the insurance industry before the pandemic hit.
I lost my job, and I lost it due to that, of course, the doctor's office and things like that were shut down. A lot of people were doing telehealth. So the company was kind of losing business. So they had to let about 50 people in the company go. So I was one of those ones they let go.
Right away, she started to worry.
I was just like, what am I going to do? I have, house payment, a car payment. I just have a lot of bills. I didn't want those bills to, pile up on me. So the first thing that I did was I got online and applied for unemployment.
Wooden connected with the Reset Center, a community resource that helped connect her with her next opportunity.
It's really tough. Yeah, as a black woman, it's really tough for us to kind of get out there and find a job within, our career or maybe the salary range. And that was kind of another thing for me, looking at the salary range, because, like I said, some of the jobs that I did interview with, they didn't want to pay what I wanted, to make.
In fact, a recent study based on National Department of Labor numbers found that black men and women are having the hardest time getting their jobs back during the pandemic. The study says more than half of white Americans have gotten their jobs back, compared to only 34% for black men and 39% for black women have been reemployed.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all because, right now with what's going on, it's really hard.
We checked with the Indiana Department of Workforce Development. They tell us that more Hoosiers are getting back to work as things reopen. They tell us nearly 65% of the workforce is back. Like Wooden, who is already back to work.
It was a struggle, but I did make ends meet. Yeah, I started back in August. I've been there for 60 days now. It kind of came through at the right moment.
Her advice for anyone still looking:
just keep going. I know it's a struggle, but just keep going, keep pushing, keep praying, and it will come your way.
Working for you, Troy Washington, WRTV.
New data also shows that more women left the workforce last month than men, and it wasn't even close. In September, about 617,000 women dropped out of the workforce compared to just 78,000 men. Half of the women range from 35 to 44 years old. Experts say women are 3 times more likely to take charge of housework and caring for kids. Child care services remain far below pre-pandemic levels, leaving families with 2 working parents to make the choice over who stays home. Turning the discard pile into colorful success, how one local woman took an idea to save leftover crayons and turned it into a full-on business that's not slowing down. That's up next here on WRTV.
An update tonight about last year's open casting call for Shark Tank at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We saw a ton of great products, and one woman from McCordsville stood out. And while she can't tell us any additional details from her time with Shark Tank just yet, she is up for another big opportunity. Here's WRTV's Lauren Casey.
Welcome to Art to the Extreme. Come on into my crayon studio.
Nicole Lewis is a McCordsville mom and color connoisseur.
I am known for the original rainbow crayon.
With roots in the classroom.
I was a teacher for about 10 years. I had several students with special needs that could not hold a standard crayon, so we decided to melt down their nubs and stubs, because if anyone's been to a kindergarten class, there are crayons everywhere.
A craft project admittedly a little messy on her first go-round, but she perfected the process.
So right now I am pouring melted crayon wax into some of the molds that I've designed.
The project became a hobby.
And one shape turned into 5 and then 10
and then a hobby turned into a household business.
Now 680 different shapes.
Drawing up a business, Art to the Extreme, one of the original Etsy shops.
I specialize in customized and personalized crayon design. It's great for hands both young and old because it's not going to roll off the table. It's not going to break when you drop it.
A sought-after gift for the young and young at heart.
And you know, everybody can be an artist.
Many tapping into their inner Picasso as we stay safe and stay home. The past few months have been the busiest, filling orders for Nicole and her husband.
There were so many orders coming and we didn't know what to do. Luckily, we had prepared knowing that Easter was coming up, and we had bought a lot of stock and boxes and things ahead of time.
And in the past month, Nicole checked off another box as a business owner, moving out of her shop in her basement into a studio in Noblesville.
So this is our new space, and this is where our laser is going to go that just came in.
And she's hoping another opportunity will help them streamline their processes to keep up with demand. Art to the Extreme is the only maker in Indiana to be a finalist in the Etsy Design Awards. Out of 100 finalists worldwide, there are only 10 in her category for kids' toys. Art to the Extreme could win $15,000 with your help.
To vote for us, all you need to do is go to the picture of our original rainbow crayon personalized set that says Nora and Reagan and tap on the heart.
And that was our Lauren Casey reporting. We posted the link to the voting site on our website, hiringhoosiers.com. Nicole also has plans in 2021 to get a warehouse with employees. We will be sure to keep you updated on those opportunities. Kevin?
Well, the colors on this map, Mark, represent some rain over the weekend. We'll get into the timing, where it's most likely as well, coming up.
Tonight, the Gulf Coast is once again bracing for a powerful hurricane. Delta is aimed at southwestern Louisiana, the same area that's still recovering from Hurricane Laura, which hit just 6 weeks ago. In Lake Charles, many people who are still repairing their homes are trying to prepare for another storm. Evacuation orders and curfews have been issued for several areas near the Louisiana coast. The National Hurricane Center forecasts dangerous winds and life-threatening storm surge as high as 11 feet. Kevin.
And of course, we'll have some impacts. It looks like in the Hoosier State from Delta, there are some clouds that's streaming in way out ahead of the storm system. Does make landfall until during the day tomorrow. Really, this is the first cloud cover that I've seen looking at sunsets all week long. That's out in Putnam County. Those are cirrus clouds, kind of filter the sunshine and obscure it a bit. Temperature is 70 degrees right now out in Putnam County. Temperature's 80 down in the Sullivan Temperatures otherwise in the 70s, and we set the stage for a jump tomorrow back into the 80s on a consistent basis. Temperatures this evening from 8 o'clock until just after midnight will drop about 10 degrees. Eventually, we're headed into the lower 50s as we go through the overnight. Tomorrow, 82 degrees, if not a little warmer, especially southwest of Indy. We can heat up so efficiently. It'll depend on those mid to high level clouds, how much sunshine gets filtered, kind of toning down its impact. Notice Sunday, 75 with a 30% chance for rain. The best chance of rain, any soaking real beneficial rain, appears to be along and south of the Ohio River. There's the first wave of rain drifting to the north as we go into Sunday. That's 7 a.m. and then skirting southeast portions of the state. Now, this is kind of a moving target because, of course, hasn't even made landfall yet, but we'll continue to keep you updated. There's a story of your Friday afternoon. The wind and warmth. Temperatures, because of the wind out of the south-southwest, will jump from today's high. Should be back in the low 80s. Humidity's low. Wind is strong. Ground is so dry, it makes it easy to warm up. There's your evening planner. Should be a great night for Friday night football. Temperatures in the 70s through the entire game. As you look at Saturday, lots of clouds around. Temperatures still manage to hit 80. I do think it will be cooler than that as you go south into southern Indiana because of thicker cloud cover. Maybe a shower there too. As we get to Sundays, showers, especially south and east of Indianapolis, 75 degrees. Monday, the chance for rain with a cold front that knocks our temperatures back into the lower 70s on Tuesday and Wednesday. Mark?
Thank you, Kevin. Moving during a pandemic is difficult enough, but it's even worse when your movers damage your stuff. Tim Maniscalco with the Better Business Bureau says you need to take a close look at exactly who is handling your belongings.
This is really a story about someone who used a moving broker. We've talked a lot about moving companies here, and here's what happened to this particular person in Indianapolis. They wanted to move down to Florida, so they contacted a mover in Florida. When it came to moving day, though, the people who showed up were a company called Master Movers here in Indianapolis. They did not have enough people to move. They did not have the right size trucks. They were not skilled in moving some of his items, particularly a grand piano that took a little bit of skill to move. When they finally got down to his location in Florida, the truck actually caused some damage. So they had to actually get the police to come and make a report and make certain that they got the insurance and the license information from the driver. So what I'm saying here is that if you are going to be moving, make certain that if you're going to use a moving broker, that you understand that, hey, that contract is going to be sold to another mover that you may not know who that mover is, and it's going to be very, very difficult if there's any sort of problems here. So good thing to do is always go to bbb.org and check out trustworthy movers, but there are moving brokers out there, and at that point, you're kind of dealing with third party, and that can be sometimes very, very difficult. And in this particular case, this mover, Master Movers here in Indianapolis, they have an F rating with BBB. They just really didn't do the job and really caused a lot of problems for this particular consumer.
You can find out more about this scam at the Better Business Bureau's website, bbb.org. We'll be right back.
Some people who are still planning holiday parties and family gatherings say things will look and feel different this year. A survey of 2,000 people showed at least 30% plan to do temperature checks at the door. Nearly 60% plan to play the role of host, chef, bartender, and serve at their next party to lower the chance of infection. Nearly half of party hosts plan to write out detailed guest lists to help with contact tracing in case someone gets sick.
A beautiful end of the work week, Amanda. Temperatures in the low 80s. It will be breezy, but it stays dry into Saturday as well. Mark?
Thanks, Kevin. We want to thank you for joining us for WRTV News at 7. We will join you back here again for the news at 11. Have a great evening, everyone.